Hello guys, my name is Darklake, and as you can see right behind me in this episode, we are going to be getting into the automation of fissile fuel for the fission reactor. I hope you guys are ready for this episode. And welcome to episode 14 of our Hardcore All the Mods 9 Let's Play series. As you can see from the title, and from kind of our surroundings, we are currently in the Everbright, and in this episode we are going to be getting started with the fission reactor. Well, not quite. In this episode, we are going to be making the fuel for the fission reactor, as well as getting a little mechanism place set up over here in the Everbright. So we have quite a lot of different things to do. One of the big things that we're actually going to end up needing to do is we are going to need to set up automation for the fuel, because it is going to consume a lot of fuel, and thankfully, most of the stuff we can do through here with Applied Energistics. We're going to go ahead and separate off a room, maybe in that general direction, and we're going to just get some stuff going where we can go and make all of the things required for the fissile fuel, and getting all the seeds set up as well to make the fissile fuel. And it is going to require a lot of automation with Mekanism, which is why we started off with the automation in the last episode using Applied Energistics. Because with this, we are going to be able to save a lot of time crafting all of these different machines. And I already know exactly how we are going to end up doing that. Now, I went ahead and actually made another one of these because you do not want just one giant processor. You want it split up into multiple different processors. So what I've done here is I have this side, which is going to be used entirely for like mechanism processing, at least the ones that I can do. The simple ones where it's just put an item in here and it's an export, because some of them won't work unless you do like a really complicated setup with it, and at the moment I don't have the resources to be able to do that, so we're just doing this. But with this, like, I just set this up to make speed upgrades for these mechanism things, so I can just go ahead and make like 16 of these, and it'll tell me exactly what I'm missing, and it'll go ahead and craft this. I'll go ahead and show that example right now. And just like that, if we go ahead and craft this up, you'll see that this now is going to start crushing the required materials for this craft. And this is going to be amazing. As you can see, it's a bit slow right now. Let's give it the 3 speed upgrades we have right now, and it should be fine. But ironically, this is literally crafting up speed upgrades. So we're going to go ahead and put the rest of these actually into here. And now we have 8 out of 8, which is a 10 times speed increase. So if we wanted to go ahead and, like, let's say, make 3 more, it now is almost instantaneous. So we're going to be doing that for basically all of the crafts that we can do with Mekanism. And we'll be back once I show you the actual means that we are going to be auto-crafting using Applied Energistics 2. And it's a really nice mod that was added onto the game. And to actually store the different chemicals from Mekanism, we are going to be using these chemical disk drives. And I'm going to do a little test to see if they properly work. But from what I've seen, this should, in theory, be able to store gases. And I made an electrolytic separator for this purpose. We're going to go plop this down, and we are going to pump in some water. So we're going to, I believe we can just put a bucket of water into here. And it should, yeah, be making hydrogen and oxygen. So it doesn't really matter with this stuff. I'm just seeing if we can use an importer, ME import bus, to see if we can take out this chemical and put it into this ME system. Because if so, we are going to be able to do this entirely through our ME system. So let's go get a cable. I believe we can just use one of these. And did that work? Does it have some... Yes, it did. Which one did it take? Oh, we are in business. I believe that took the oxygen, and it did. Okay, so with this, what this is going to basically allow us to do is we are going to be able to literally store all of the gases and chemicals that the thing makes into our ME system, which means that not only are we going to be able to get this entire thing done entirely within the ME system, but it also means we can make this completely modular in the fact of we won't need to do any of this process. We can literally just have it go through the pipes, taking from the ME system, and it can just craft everything itself. The only thing that is very painful about this entire thing is that we are going to need the block variations now. I don't know why they made the craft even harder than it already was, but we now need the blocks of refined obsidian. And to make steel seeds, which is just a core thing that this mod is going to end up requiring. Like, to make literal, like, steel seeds. Just the normal steel seeds. We need 1x compressed steel blocks. Like, they didn't think it was painful enough to make it a block when it used to be an ingot. No, now you gotta just get a 1x compressed block. This is incredibly fun, but we gotta do it because if we don't craft these seeds, making anything mechanism is going to be a pain in the ass. Thankfully, just like Powa, we can just do the entire blocks at a time using the all the compressed mod, and it should make it a little easier. But we need so much carbon per. We're gonna need quite a lot of coal, so I'm going to go ahead and craft up these steel and refined obsidian seeds, and I'll see you guys afterwards. And there we go. We got ourselves the crafting patterns for the osmium, the steel, and the refined obsidian. This is going to significantly help us in terms of actually making these machines, as all of them are going to be used in one machine or another. But we aren't even done yet, as there is 2 more seeds that we're going to need to make for this whole thing. And that is going to be uranium seeds, which I'm pretty sure uranium seeds are the block versions as well. No, they're actually only the ingots. Nice. We need that, and then we also need the fluorite seeds. If I can spell them, that is. There we go. Fluorite seeds. I'm pretty sure these require the... No? It's specifically the GregTech fluorite, though. That is not good, because I don't know where to get this stuff. I'd like to go on record and say that if not for the fact of this quarry that we made, we never would have found this. I spent like an hour looking for this stuff, and I was only able to get it here in the mining dimension through our quarry, so the quarry, it saved our lives, so we can finally make these seeds now. And now that we have everything kinda set up, let's go ahead and actually craft all of the machines required to make this fissile fuel. Okay, so the next little while of this is going to be a little bit complicated, so if you don't understand, go back and watch this video, but I am going to explain it as best as I can for you guys to be able to understand what is going to be happening here. So, this is going to be the mechanism room. We are going to have cables run along the inside of this and the underside of it for basically importing and extracting. So this middle part is going to be gone, right? And we have our cables right back here. So we're going to go and grab this like that. And now what is going to happen, and I actually think I have it the wrong way around, but it's fine. Yeah, this is the... Yeah, this is the wrong way. So it needs to be one higher and one lower. But honestly, we could just do that. So we will do this. So how this is going to work after I fill in this hole is basically we're going to have things importing at the top and exporting at the bottom, just like this. And then we're going to need the power behind this. So we're going to get rid of this cable. Make sure that these cables are connected this way. And then behind these machines, we're going to have power. And for the first example of this, because I have a little chart on the side that helps me see what I need to do for this whole setup, because we have all of our machines in here. These are all of the machines that we are going to end up needing. And the first one I think that we should be doing is the yellow cake uranium. So with that one, we are going to get our enrichment chamber. And I actually think it's still in here. So we're going to look up enrich. There it is. This is our enriching factory. So we're going to go and set down a flux point, because we have our flux points here from our applied energistics setup that we never used. We're going to place it right here. It's already set to our network, so we should just be able to plug this in like that. And click the export bus. And we should be able to put this into our system. And actually, I am just now realizing we are going to need a different importer for our thing, because these, for whatever reason, don't allow the dense cables. So we're going to quickly grab our, let's see, because we have our applied. We can go ahead and just craft these covered cables really quick. So we're going to grab those, and we are going to simply up top and below, we are going to have our exporter into our machine. However, I am going to need something to stand on. And just like that, we can now place down our exporter. This is going to specifically be exporting the uranium. And to do that, we are going to need to get a crafting card, which is this little guy right here. So to make this, it's really simple. We're just going to make a crafting table, and we're probably going to end up needing a couple of these, so I'll just make those ahead of time. But this is a crafting card, and what this is going to allow us to do is, if I'm not mistaken, we can basically tell it we want uranium. And if we just drag this into here, this is now going to be crafting up uranium. And I'm pretty sure we can put acceleration cards into here. And it's going to start, yeah, really filling up with uranium. And we are going to want to be exporting this back into our system. I mean, importing it back into our system. So at the bottom, we're going to have an importer, and this is now going to be producing us our yellow cake uranium. And we can have that set up. So now in the settings, we're going to have eject on, and at the bottom, we are going to have as an output, and at the top, we are going to have an input. And now, as you can see, if we look up yellow cake uranium, it'll be right here. And what we're going to be doing is we're basically just going to be doing this over and over again. We have 32 channels, so we can have 16 machines here. And that is exactly how many, it's going to cover basically everything here. Because the rest of this is going to be even simpler to make. We don't even have to put this in order. We just, even though I am going to put these things in order to be able to do this. So like right here, in this spot, we are going to have a chemical oxidizer. So we're going to have these dense cables come through the back. like the other one, right here we are going to have a flux point. We are going to have our 2 cables on bottom. I'm going to need a wrench to have these not be attached, so we're going to go applied energistics, and we are going to look up the quartz wrench. I believe this is the Certus quartz wrench that we are going to need. And if you guys see cuts in the video, it's probably because I am having to cough, because as stated, I am still sick and trying to recover. So hopefully soon I can get that fixed and I won't be coughing. And now here we are going to use our chemical oxidizer. Well, one of them. And right here, we're going to just set it just like this. Nope, that is not our chemical oxidizer. This is our chemical oxidizer, and I believe this is facing the wrong way. There we go. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We're going to be changing this up anyways. So, in the top here, this is basically going to turn this yellow cake uranium into uranium oxide, which is the main, well, the second main ingredient of the fissile fuel. So, we're going to quickly fly up here, and I'm going to just place down a block so I can stand here. We can once again have this. This is going to be exporting yellow cake uranium. We can go ahead and find that. Yellow cake uranium. Right here. And now, once we get some acceleration cards into here, this is going to start producing uranium oxide. And thanks to our chemical stuff that we have, we can really easily just get this import bus on the bottom here. And we are going to just literally import everything that is here. And I believe to do that, we just set this to eject and output. And doesn't look like it. Oh, that's because I need the gases. There we go. Now, this should be draining slowly. Yes, it is. And I'm quickly going to actually go ahead and get some acceleration cards. Because I'm pretty sure I have an autocraft for those. Yes, I do. Okay, we're going to craft like 30 of these, because we are going to need quite a few of these acceleration cards. It is so fast. It is so nice. So we're just going to do this, and we're just going to be basically maximizing everything here. That's for an extra card, like a crafting card. We don't need that. And there we go. Now, this is going to be producing yellow cake uranium. I'm also going to get some speed upgrades going. We need about 50 or 70 of these. Yeah, so we're going to get those going because we need a lot of these speed upgrades, because the biggest bottleneck is going to be these different machines. And let's see. Do we have all of them? Yep, these are both maxed. And as you can see, this is already going to be doing so much better for us. However, this crafting card seems to be a little slow, but that also might be because we are running out of actual uranium. No, we are not. Oh, we don't have auto crafts for them. So this is going to be this is a really easy fix. We just go to the pattern provider here. We take our uranium just like that, get a pattern for it. And while I'm thinking about it, let's get a fluorite pattern, because we are going to end up needing this. It gives 8 per, which that's going to be really nice. And then all we have to do is simply import this into this top part right here. And now what this is going to allow us to do is this is going to start immediately filling up with uranium. And as you can see, this is now kind of going to end up being the bottleneck because this thing isn't going to be able to probably produce enough uranium. And that's the nice thing about this whole thing. I can just put another exporter here and we'll be completely good. Like, this is a non-issue because we can just modulate this entire system to make as much of this stuff as we need. And it's all coming directly from our ME system. All of these chemicals are going straight into our ME system. Like, if we look up at mechanism, we can see the uranium oxide and how many buckets are being filled up right here. And we're probably going to end up needing more storage if I am not mistaken. Yes, because each bucket takes up 1,000 bytes. So we are going to end up needing quite a few of these. And we might even want to consider upgrading to the 256K. But thankfully, we can do that because we set up auto crafting for this entire setup right here. And it is so easy to just make everything now. Now, we do need to do a couple of steps here that actually require the kitchen sink. So we have our sink in our inventory right now. And all we're gonna need to do for these next couple of steps, I'm just gonna do all of these immediately because we need these materials anyways, and again, this entire process doesn't really matter the order, so we can actually do this, and it's not gonna matter that much. So we're just gonna do that, and actually, what I'm gonna do... Actually, no. I do want the flux points directly, because with these, we can actually manage how much energy goes into each of them, and that is a really good thing. And with this set up now, what we're going to do is all of these, or at least 2 of these, are electrolytic separators, and then the next one is simply a chemical rotary condenser, which I actually don't think I crafted. Did I? It appears I did not, so I am going to go quickly craft that. And there we go. We can now go ahead. Well, we can't use that fluid tank. So let's go ahead and really quickly craft another one. Which, the nice thing about this is if I'm missing a material like I am here, I can just shift, I can control click, I believe. Yes, and it'll craft me anything that is missing. So I can just simply craft it like that. And there we go. It's not using the right tank, though. And there we go. Now we are in business. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to place this here. We're going to put, and then we're going to put these 2 electrolytic separators down, which this should not be running. It's mainly just going to be this process. I think what I'm going to do for the sake of time in this video is I'm going to just quickly make this entire setup, and I'll show you guys the result at the very end. And guys, we are here now, and it all is finished. I finished it all. It took not much time at all. And as you can see, we are now making fissile fuel at a pretty damn rapid rate. And it is going, this is incredibly nice. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how we got this all set up because it was insanely compact. I didn't expect it to be this compact. I'm actually impressed with myself for how compact making this actually was. And it literally all fits within this singular area. Now, I know it looks complicated, and I promise you it isn't. I'm going to go ahead and explain exactly what everything here does very quickly. This is the enriching factory. This gives uranium, turns it into yellow cake uranium, and then turns that uranium into uranium oxide, which is already a final component. Then over here, we have these producing oxygen. This is producing water vapor. And then this is turning sulfur dust directly into I believe, sulfur dioxide. Then it is taking that sulfur dioxide, combining it with oxygen, and turning that into sulfur trioxide. And then it takes water vapor and the sulfur trioxide and turns that into sulfuric acid. And then it takes the sulfuric acid, combines it with a fluorite gen, and then that produces us the hydrofluoric acid. And then you combine that with the uranium oxide, and it makes the uranium hexafluoride, which then goes over into the Everbright and becomes the fissile fuel. This did not take long to set up, and I'm actually really impressed with myself with how easy this was to actually go ahead and set up. As stated, I was thinking of using this entire space, but now we can just use this entire space to upscale this production whenever we want to. So that was really easy. And just like that, we now have a stable source of fissile fuel generation. And that means, as you guys know, in the next episode, I think that we are ready to finally get into making the long-awaited reactor, the fission reactor. And it's terrifying. I'm still scared that it could melt down and release radiation and potentially kill me. So that's my biggest concern at the moment. So I'm hoping that this will all be very easy, but again, we gotta take risks, and we needed this to get the all-powerful mech suit, as well as we are going to be needing this anyways to get set up for the All the Mod Star, since the All the Mod Star requires us to get a lot of antimatter, and the reactor is the only way to get to that point. And as always, massive shout out to our Patreon member, Furball Rules, for being the supporter for this channel. I wouldn't be able to continue making content like this if not for people like you. And you guys should go join him. Go join my Patreon, as it supports me as a content creator and encourages me to continue making content. And well, guys, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for staying until the very end. If you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below what you'd like to see in future episodes. I read through all of you guys' comments, I read through each and every one, and I reply to them, so be sure to leave a comment, as I'll be sure to reply. And if you guys are new here, go check out episode 1 of the series and watch the entire series, as it is a good series that gets better as it goes on. And if you guys aren't new here but missed the last episode, go check out episode 13. But as always, my name is Darklaic, and until next time, peace out.